What's up, guys? Coach Scott Yurgalevicz here at a very breezy Philadelphia Cricket Club. I'm here to talk to you today about your early extension, how to fix it, and also how to add some turn in there so you can hit better golf shots. Now, I learned this recently. It has absolutely changed how I strike the golf ball, and it's definitely going to help you strike the golf ball better. And how are we going to do it? It's with your eyes. Ready to learn? Let's do it. So in my 10 plus years of coaching golf, I've noticed an epidemic of players with early extension. And what is early extension? It's when we go to make our downswing and our hips slide or extend towards the golf ball in an effort to get the club back behind us. So in a world where we've got launch monitors, excessive data, we've got this awesome flight scope back here, and everyone's a little more knowledgeable nowadays. So in an effort to hit the ball with a draw, we see a lot of players go to the simulator and go, oh man, my path is to the left or it's across the golf ball going this way. I need to fix that. I'm going to fix the path. So what do you think they do? They go, how am I going to work on that? So the easiest way to cheat the launch monitor is to early extend. So what happens is, from a down the line view, as we take the club back, regardless of where you put it, you have two options. You're going to go this way or you're going to go this way. And if, and only if, you start that downswing by rotating out a little bit too soon, the club in the shaft is going to get more steep. It's going to work its way out towards the golf ball. So how do we fix that? All you smart guys and gals do one thing. You start to extend. So as you push your hips more towards the camera or the golf ball, my left arm works its way more out from the down the line angle. And as that happens, the club tumbles behind me. We have a term that we call out early, shallow, late. That's a classic early extension piece. So what does it look like? You know, the misses of a player that has early extension are toe shots, tons and tons of toe shots. We've got toe shots, we've got hooks, but 99% of our players that early extend can hit it to the right and they can hook it to the left. It's exactly what an early extender does. Most, and I say most because there are some exceptions, most of the players that have early extension can fix some of it with their eyeballs. And what I mean by that is, you've been told for years to keep your head down, watch the ball, your spouse, significant others just telling, hey, keep your eye on the ball, you'll hit it better. Well, watch what happens when I keep my head down in the backswing. I lose quite a bit of mobility. So I can only make so much swing if my eyes are directly down at the golf ball, my nose is down at the ball, my head is over the top of the golf ball. What I want you to work on is your eyes and your head pivoting a little bit. I call this a neck tilt. Some people call this changing your eye line. Getting very breezy here, so bear with me if there's a little static on this video. But when I allow my eyes to change their direction or tilt, you're going to notice I can gain a lot more turn. Turn is good. Turn's going to get the club a little bit more behind us or deeper to create some in to out path. That's the easier way to stay in to out. So when I do this, and the drill I'm going to give you is I'm going to take your club and put it right across your eyes. You're going to get into your golf posture and you're going to make your backswing. And I want you to feel like your left ear is almost pointing at the ground. Is it going to be a little excessive? Most likely. We don't need all that turn. But if I added none of it, I can only go so far back. But if I allow my head and neck to rotate like it's on a swivel, I'm going to get some more turn out of this. And then on the way down, here's the fun part. We are going to make our through swing and we're going to reverse the order. We're going to allow our right ear to come back down and our eyes are going to change their line of sight again. If we're able to change our line of sight, we can keep our inclination better. Think of this as a football player. I know we've got a lot of NFL fans, a lot of college football fans. If you're wearing a face mask and I grab your face mask and I drag it to the left and drag it to the right, where are you going to go? You're going to go with your head. If I get your head to rotate, what do you think is going to happen to your body? It's also going to rotate. Heck, I've even seen players inadvertently rotate their head the wrong direction, and they have the least amount of turn. We need to get you to be more mobile. We need to get you to turn your eyes and head a little bit more. If you've ever watched the great Jack Nicklaus, if you ever noticed what he did at address, his trigger was very interesting. It did a little something of this. He would kick his head back, create some clearance for some turn, and you'd be able to strike the golf ball. A little something like this. Don't mind the tractor noises in the background. That's what it's like at a country club every day. So, as we get really, really good at this, we're going to create more turn by allowing our eyes to go more around in a circle. All right, now you're probably asking yourself, how am I ever going to work on that on the golf course or on the driving range? That's a really difficult task, right? To ask someone to feel like their head is swiveling and turning in different directions. Well, we can do it in a very specific way. The first way I'd do it is if you had a wall anywhere in your house. Now, if you live in a house, you'd probably have a wall. Find a wall that you can put your head on. For our purposes, I'm just going to use this noodle here that I've got. I'm going to take my hat off, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my head directly on this noodle. And what's going to happen is if I make this backswing and I allow my head to rotate, I'm going to be able to easily and flawlessly pivot, turn, and rotate my head on the wall. Now, obviously, my noodle's moving a little bit. It's, you know, blowing 20 miles an hour here. But if I'm able to practice this, swivel, turn my head, I can stretch my arms out. I can also come back down the impact and release my eyeballs to the target. I want you to watch the golf ball. It's important to watch it. Look at DJ. He always watches the golf ball after he kind of hits it here. He actually sometimes even looks out at the target even before he makes contact with the golf ball. So that's step number one. Find yourself a wall, a door frame. Work on that. You can do that with a golf club in your hands. Anything that gets you to swivel your head a little bit better is going to be a good thing. The next thing you're going to do is you're actually going to take that noodle or a stick. You can stick it out of your golf bag and kind of like lean it up. You don't need to have one of these really cool contraptions here. But then what I want you to do, see if I can swivel this back. I want you to get this thing. Nope, it's not going to work. All right, here we go. We're going to roll with the punches here. What we're going to do is we're going to keep that right there on our head, and we're going to hit some golf shots with it right there. So here we go. And I want you to feel, when you hit every one of those golf shots, I want it to feel like your right ear and your eye line is on an angle. Sometimes I describe this to my students as like, if you ever went swimming and you got water in your ear, you kind of like give it a little nudge like this. I want you to feel like that's what it is post-impact. So your job is find yourself a stick, a noodle, whatever it might be. Hopefully there's not gale force winds keeping the noodle from flying out and hitting you. And I want you to rotate your head and then rotate it through. You're going to hit some goofy shots at first. It's going to be really uncomfortable. You're not going to be used to the depth and how much turn you have. You're also not going to be used to where the club's coming down from the inside. It's a lot different. You might even chunk some golf shots, right? Just keep in mind that you're coming from a place of a ton of early extension. You're going steep to shallow. And now what you're doing is going from shallow to execute those golf shots the way you really want them to be struck. If you thought these were helpful, do me a solid. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, comment, like, share, send it to your buddies. I think this is a super simple way to fix your early extension. I know it was a game changer for me, so do yourself a favor, work on it, practice it, and tell me how it goes in the comments. Thanks. See you next time.